Hey friends, Nancy Rowe here. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on the intensive for this weekend with Nicole Call. Myself and Candy and Sandy and Jay Bromwitz had an excellent call with her, really kind of talking about exactly what are things that we're going to be pinpointing on, and I feel like we have not built properly for this event. So let me just give you a couple of the highlights on the things that she had said. First off, this is for all levels of real estate investors. I know that people feel like contracts is more high level. I don't care what kind of contract you're doing or what kind of real estate you're doing. Everything stems from a contract. She wants to get everybody comfortable with knowing what is in a contract, what is an important. She also said that most of this intensive is not going to be what's in her class. So I'm really excited because she says I have a lot of updated stuff that I want to go over. So she is going to be talking about deals. She is going to be talking about the contracts. She wants people to get more into a habit of knowing how to fill it out, what needs to be filled out, what don't you leave blank. What are the contingencies? Your contingencies are your out clauses. What are the things that you need to put in there to protect yourself? Not only the contract itself, but our operating agreements, which is, she also said, is something that's not in her other class. And that is going to be with how the company is going to operate, especially in regards to your partnerships. So one of the things that we see in the communities, because we're all kind of kumbaya and we love on each other, what we don't do is verify and validate. The most important thing that we can do is put our things into place. So if something does come about, that we already know what the standard operating procedure is going to be in that situation. Right? And this really does need to be put together and looked at also by your attorney, because they've seen a lot of things and know some of the typical stuff, that's kind of happening out in the world. So your operating agreements are so incredibly important. What happens is if people don't have that, then in the emotion, people are trying to make decisions. And the worst time to make any sort of decision, especially on something like this, is going to be in the emotion of it all. That's where communication breaks down. That's why a lot of lawsuits happen. So structuring deals, your contract, your contingencies, your operating agreements. The rest of the time she is going to spend on market trends. And this is basically the things that she is seeing in her practice that are really common across the board. One of those things is going to be your service contracts. What does that mean? That's going to mean your plumbers, your electricians, your HVAC, your general contractors. Making sure that in your agreements with them, a lot of times people are losing money, paying too much, things have to be redone. If you have your contracts structured with them properly, there's a lot of teeth in it. Right? So how do you do that? Here's another thing, short-term rentals. It's the sexy thing. Everybody's talking about it. And she said, I could actually just talk all day on short-term rentals. And I was like, well, if you must. She's not going to. It's going to be a chunk, but it's going to be a very big chunk. Now, especially for people that are doing those arbitrage type of short-term rentals. What that means is they're actually renting space from a landlord. What we're seeing, not just in the Chicagoland area, but across the country, is that people are, municipalities and cities and townships are changing their agreement saying, I'm so sorry, but effective this date, you can no longer do short-term rentals within these, boundaries, confines, or whatever. And then now they have an agreement for 11 more months, 10 more months, 6 more months with a landlord that they can't get out of. So she's going to be talking about what are the things that you need to do and put in place so that if those things do happen, you're not stuck. So I am so incredibly glad that we had this conversation with her. I kind of wish we would have had it a week ago, but there's no accidents. So please, please, please make sure that you spread the word to your people. Get your guests registered. Make sure that you guys are registered. We have never had an intensive that's going to be like this ever. And Nicole hasn't been here in 5 years. So there's a lot of things that I'm super excited about in this particular intensive. Remember, per corporate, we cannot record these. So you cannot get the recording. So here's what I say. Move your stuff. If you can, move it and make sure that you are here. Get yourself registered. I appreciate you. Thank you, friends.